Thank you, sir. May I now call upon Vice Chairman Sir Shreevats Jaipuria ji to deliver the inaugural address.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
It's indeed a great pleasure to have all the dignitaries on the dais. Extremely warm welcome from my side to Mr. Deepak Singh, Chief Guest from KPMG, Mr. Sachin Kapoor from nearby, and our very own alumni, Ms. Vartika Bharti from Mansa Consulting. Of course, warm welcome and exciting moment for our director, our faculty, our staff to have this new batch of students, the batch of 2016-18 with us here today. But most of all, I'd like to welcome our students sitting here in the auditorium and listening in the other room for this, what I hope to be a very exciting 2 years, the next 2 years of your life. So I think after due consideration and effort, all of you have chosen to do a PGDM program, a postgraduate program in management. And before I say anything else, I think it's important for us, for you to reflect on how privileged we are to get this opportunity to do such a program. I was just running through the numbers yesterday and I realized that how few of us in India and across the world have the chance to do a postgraduate program. If you look at the numbers of India, approximately even today about 40% of our students of that age group complete school, out of which 20% enroll in college, out of which only 10 or 15% do some sort of postgraduate education. So what is 40%? What is 15% of 20% of 40%? You're close to the 1% of students in India who have had this opportunity to have a postgraduate education. And you must realize that this indeed is a privilege. You have got this privilege in some part through your hard work and academic excellence, but in our context, in a large part, you have also got it due to the work and the commitment of your parents, of your family, who have decided to support you through your school education, your college education, and now are committing themselves to support you for the next 2 years of your postgraduate education to make you realize your dreams and your potentials. So I would advise you that over the next 2 years and really over your lifetime, through your times of happiness and sadness, through your successes and failures, to remember that you're an extremely privileged, and we all are an extremely privileged group, an extremely small minority of people in this country and even globally who have the opportunity to complete their education at a postgraduate level. And this opportunity gives us an extremely high degree of responsibility to try to make the best of every moment, learn to the best of our abilities, and achieve our full potential, pursue our dreams to the best we can. Now, how can we do this over the next 2 years? We at Jaipuria realize that just as you are privileged to have a postgraduate education, we too are privileged to welcome a batch as diverse as you, as accomplished as you, and having as much potential as you. So we will, as we have done for our past students, try to work tirelessly to create a platform for your learning, for your development, to make you learn not only what is academically necessary, but what is relevant in today's fast changing economy and business context. So firstly, of course, it is a bare minimum requirement to do well in your academic courses, to study hard in your curriculums, to attend classes. But moreover, it's more important that you engage with the topics that are being taught in the classes. Try to understand and relate them to what could be of interest to you to pursue your career, how those topics are relating to what is going on in the business context today, in the news that you hopefully read through newspapers, internet, or whatever medium that you choose is necessary. But moreover, have a spirit of learning and doing. As you know, in today's world, theoretical knowledge is only a platform. Eventually, it is by doing, whether it is, we try to stimulate doing, whether, as the director said, is through on-field assignments, projects, teamwork, group work, case discussions, class discussion forums, etc. It's important that you engage with these platforms, not only to get marks, not only to get an A, of course it's very good to get an A, but to learn, to discuss, to engage on all possible topics, to ask questions that go maybe beyond what is necessarily required as part of the curriculum. Because more than some of the knowledge that you will get, it is this attitude and this skill set of doing, asking, engaging that will get you success in your business and your careers. And I'm sure some of our industry guests here would talk a little bit more about this sort of aspect and give their insight, which we look forward to. Secondly, even though you have come to a program in management or some say business, I strongly believe that the world of business and management especially, being a social science, is deeply related to the larger context of the world, whether it is the social sciences, whether it is politics, history, art, even something like sports, psychology. So my advice early on is that don't think about, I'm going to go to banking or finance or marketing or HR and I really need to know these subjects. Because if you are to get success over a career, to start out in one of these fields and maybe grow and maybe work in multiple industries, multiple fields, multiple functions, it's your knowledge, understanding and contextualization of how people think, what people like to consume, what in our communication, written, oral or otherwise, attracts people to you as a customer, as a colleague, as a supplier, as a friend, that will have long-lasting implications on your career. As some of you may know, over the last week, just to give you an example, some event happened far away in the United Kingdom, which has sent even Indian financial markets and a lot of Indian companies into shock. Does anybody know what event I'm talking about? Excellent. So my point in illustrating this is that we in India, and sometimes when we get too busy, sometimes when we are young students, we feel that, what is it to do with me? I have so much work, I have to study for my class, do my exams, and all this is hard. And it is hard. But eventually we have to understand what else is going on in the world, how and why it is going on, what is the psychology at play there, and what impact it may or may not have on us. The world today is extremely interconnected. Dr. Thakur spoke a little bit about Indian FDI in India, and how India is a hot destination for FDI. FDI being foreign direct investment is also governed by the mindset of how foreigners look at us, but also by how foreigners are thinking about business, the nature of business, and the sentiment of positivity or negativity around the world. So it's important that you engage not only with your curriculum, but about what is happening in the world of business and otherwise, even in worlds of culture, politics, sports, in India and across the world. Now, to give you a little bit of background about Jaipuria. At Jaipuria, we strongly believe in student-centered learning, where the emphasis is on the student to engage in the classroom, to ask questions, to be a participant rather than a passive learner. And I think in the language that we have used today, it will become more and more apparent to you as you get into the classroom. In all likelihood, this mode of learning is going to be very different from what you are used to in the Indian school system and even through your graduation. So it's extremely important that you come prepared for classes, develop slowly the confidence to speak, to ask questions which may or may not be relevant, which may or may not be always have the right answer if you're answering a question, but it's important that you are able to build the confidence to be able to do this. And I'm sure that with each of your backgrounds, this is going to be a tremendous learning experience that you will value for life. All of you must also be aware that Jaipuria has 4 campuses, out of which you have chosen to come here to the Noida campus. And the opportunities of the 4 campuses in terms of the faculties there, your colleagues, students at other campuses, many events, industry personalities coming to other campuses, are always going to be available to you through various platforms that you will learn about in the time to come. And it's up to you to take advantage of the bigger family of approximately 100 faculty and 1500 students that you have joined today, and see how best or who best suits your interests, aspirations and career growth paths. Similarly, we will continue to invite, as we have today at our inauguration function, many industry experts who have seen it all, done it all, and have a unique perspective on how you can be successful in today's changing world, in their industries and beyond. So of course, attend their lectures, listen to them, but again try to engage with them, ask them questions, see how they can help you in your careers, in shaping your aspirations to be in tune with the world at large. The world is changing at an ever rapid pace. New industries are being created. New ways of doing business within industries are being created. And it's important that you are able to have exposure to this. I think even 4 or 5 years ago, we could not have thought about the importance that the e-commerce industry would play, and Sachin here is an example from that industry. In the business context today, the opportunities it would create for today's youth as career opportunities, as consumers, as suppliers, for all businesses really. And it's important that you are able to understand and form a vision of how business is changing, because it will probably change again by the time you graduate. So you have to be abreast with what is going on. Lastly, I would say extremely important, remember that over the next 2 years you will form relationships for life. Extremely important, if you look around this room, if you look to your left and your right, front and back, some of these people will be your best friends. They will be like your family for life. I know you just came here today, you don't know who that will be, but I guarantee you that it will be someone in this room for each one of you. So really try to reach out, get out of your comfort zone, and see how you can connect with people on different levels, whether it is on different sort of interests, whether it's on convenience, whether it's on something, because these friendships are something you will treasure for life. Also, your faculty, some of them will be your mentors for life. For each one of you, you will engage with multiple faculty along the 2 years in different ways. Some of them you will remember and come back to after years of passing out of this institute. So remember that the relationships you are forming are something that will be with you and provide tremendous value to you, probably as much as 2 years of sitting in the classroom would. So it's important that you are able to really build this and value this in the way that it will provide value to you. So with that, I think we look forward to hearing from our guests, and I wish you all the very best. I'm sure that you will be successful. Now this is your institute, and I'm sure you will bring success to this institute. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The chief guest of the day, Dr. Deepak Singh, is currently working as a director, human resource in KPMG since 2013. He has done his doctorate in management and is a founder member of Harvard Leaders Excellence. He has over 19 years of domain experience in various business sectors. He has published a couple of white papers and written one book. He also contributes back to the society by running his own NGO for underprivileged children. It is my pleasure to now invite Dr. Deepak Singh to kindly deliver his address.